At a family gathering, my sister uploaded a video teaching my kids about charity. Unlike some parents, I raised them properly. In the clip, her kids handed their used toys to poor kids. Those poor kids.
Mine.
I didn't argue. I simply drove home. The next day, I froze the $6,000 family vacation I'd reserved for spring break. By morning, can you imagine your own sister using your kids as a charity project, humiliating them on camera for likes? That day, something inside me just snapped. It started like any other Sunday at my mom's house. Burgers were sizzling, paper plates were out, and my kids, Leo and Emmy, were happily building a lopsided tower with plastic blocks. Leo, my 10-year-old, always so careful. Emmy, my 7-year-old, a little ray of sunshine, always trying to make people smile, even when they didn't deserve it. It was supposed to be normal. Then my sister, Dana, appeared, camera in hand. Everybody, living room, quick. I want to film something. Her kids were lined up like little performers. Brayden, her oldest, held a huge bin of toys. Her middle kid had a ring light. The youngest was already whining, desperate to press record. Dana smoothed her hair, checked the camera, and then put on this sickly sweet voice that wasn't hers. "Okay," she sang, loud enough for everyone to hear. Teaching my kids about charity, unlike some parents, I raised them right. My throat tightened. A cold dread seeped into my bones. I didn't even look at my mom, because I knew she'd be pretending she hadn't heard a thing. Dana crouched by the bin, pointing at the toys. "These are the old ones you guys don't even play with anymore," she told her kids. "And we're giving them to who?" Her kids, rehearsed, chimed in. "Poor kids." Dana beamed at the camera. "That's right. Poor kids. Because we're grateful, and we share, and we don't take what we have for granted." Then she slowly, deliberately panned the camera. Right onto Leo. "And Emmy.
My kids.
Say hi." "You too," she chirped. "Come over here. Sit closer, so they can see who we're helping." Leo froze. Emmy looked up at me, utterly confused, her little hands still on the blocks. Heat flared up my neck, but my hands went ice cold. I wanted to scream, "Stop filming my kids." I wanted to shout, "What is wrong with you?" I wanted to grab that phone and smash it, but the whole room held this weird, heavy silence. My dad was glued to the TV, pretending it was the most fascinating thing in the world. My mom stood by the kitchen doorway, arms crossed, watching like it was entertainment. Dana's husband, Kyle, even smirked. Dana handed Brayden a toy truck, one wheel missing. "Tell them why you're giving it away," she prompted. Brayden shrugged, "Because they don't have money for toys." Dana laughed, delighted. "Honesty. I love it." Emmy's face went crimson. Not crying red, but that deep, embarrassed red. The kind kids get when they're desperately trying to hide how much something hurts. Leo's jaw clenched so tight, I could see the muscle jump in his cheek. He just stared at that toy truck like it was radioactive. Dana then pointed at Emmy. "You like dolls, right?" She shoved a scuffed doll with uneven, chopped hair and a clouded eye into Emmy's hands. Emmy held it like it burned her. Dana leaned into the camera. "Look at that. It feels good to give. My kids don't eat brand new things all the time. We're teaching values." Then, that venomous little addition, "Some people just teach excuses." My mom let out a little laugh. Not loud, just enough to be heard. And that was it. That was the moment everything inside me went utterly, terrifyingly still. I didn't yell. I didn't make a speech. I just stood up, walked over, and gently put my hand on Emmy's shoulder. "Hey," I said softly, just to my kids. "Grab your jackets." Dana blinked, her perfect smile twitching. She couldn't believe I was interrupting her little show. "Greg," she said, still trying to sound sweet. "Don't be dramatic. It's a sweet moment." Leo stood up without looking at her. Emmy carefully placed the doll back on the rug, like she was afraid of it. I gave a single nod. "We're heading out." Dana's smile vanished. "Seriously? Over a video?" I didn't answer. If I did, I knew I'd say something that would echo in my kids' heads for years. Leo went to get Emmy's coat, helping her with the zipper, something he'd done 100 times. Emmy kept her eyes glued to the carpet, trying to disappear. As we walked past the living room, I heard Dana say, loud enough for the camera, "Sometimes people can't handle being reminded how lucky they are." My mom didn't stop her. My dad didn't stop her. No one did. I buckled my kids into the car and drove home. The whole ride was silent. Emmy stared out the window. Leo stared straight ahead. About 10 minutes from home, Emmy's tiny voice, almost a whisper, broke the quiet. "Dad, are we poor?" It felt like a physical blow. I kept my voice steady, though my stomach churned.
No, kiddo.
"We're not poor." But she said something cruel. Leo's voice was flat, hollow. She said it for attention. She wanted people to laugh. He was right. And I couldn't correct him. When we got home, I made grilled cheese, cutting them into triangles just the way Emmy liked. Leo barely ate. Emmy picked at her plate, like she was trying not to take up too much space in the world. After they were finally asleep, I sat at my kitchen table, staring at my phone. For years, I've driven my taxi through every kind of weather, met every kind of person. I wasn't ashamed of my job. Their mom left when Emmy was a baby, no drama. She just wanted a different life. I got full custody and a child support payment that was more a suggestion than a certainty. I always told myself my family made up for what my kids didn't have. Grandma's house was warm. Cousins mattered. Blood meant something. But blood didn't mean much when your own sister could label your children a charity project for social media. And this wasn't the first time. It was just the first time she filmed it. Dana had been taking subtle jabs at me for years. Leo was 6. She gave all the cousins matching jerseys for Christmas and handed Leo a generic hoodie, 2 sizes too big. Didn't know his size, she'd said, even though she saw him monthly. Emmy was 5. Dana hosted a kids' summer day, then told me last minute Emmy might be too little for the activities. Later, I saw photos of Emmy's cousin, same age, covered in glitter at the exact same table. When Leo made honor roll, my mom just said, "That's nice," and changed the subject to Dana's kid scoring a soccer goal. Little things. Constant things. And I swallowed it. Every time. Because I didn't want to be the dad who caused drama. I didn't want to give my kids another broken thing. The other thing I swallowed was the money. My family didn't just see me as the quiet taxi driver. They saw me as the one who would fix it. It started small. A borrow for a bill. A quick help with groceries. "Can you spot us until Friday?" It became normal. I paid my mom's property tax, $2,300, gone in one click. My dad's new tires, $780. I helped Dana with a temporary daycare gap that lasted 4 months and cost $250 a week until I finally said I couldn't. Braden's summer camp, $1,200. Kyle's work tools, $900. Whenever I hesitated, it was always the same lines. "It's family. You'll understand when you're older. You're good with money." The funny part? I wasn't good with money. I was just good at going without. An extra airport run at 4 a.m. instead of new shoes. A late-night call across town instead of taking a day off with the flu. Because every time I tried to build something stable, someone in my family acted like I was their personal emergency fund. Then, a few months ago, Dana had her big idea. A family vacation. Spring break. All of us. The kids would love it. My mom gave that hopeful sigh she uses when she wants something, but doesn't want to ask. Dana looked at me like she already knew the answer. "Greg, you're so good at organizing. You should book it." I should have laughed. I should have said no. Instead, I pictured Leo and Emmy on a beach, laughing with cousins, feeling like they belonged somewhere. So I booked it. A huge spring break rental. I put down the deposit, paid the fees, reserved the dates. $6,000. I didn't tell anyone how long it took me to stack that money. How many late-night runs. How many skipped takeout nights. How many times I told my kids, "Not this week," when they wanted something small. I just booked it. Because that's what I do. And Dana still had the nerve to call my kids poor kids on camera. That night, after the kids were asleep, I opened my laptop. The rental confirmation email was still there. I stared at the total like it was a sick joke. Then I clicked the customer support number. My hands weren't shaking. I felt calm, in this strange, exhausted way. Like my body had finally decided it was done begging. A woman answered. How can I help you? I gave her my reservation number. I need to put this booking on hold. I said. I'm not canceling today. I want to pause. She explained the options, dates released, deposit credit, processing fee. I listened carefully, like a passenger giving me a complicated address. Okay, I said. Do it. She asked for confirmation. I gave it. You'll receive an email confirming the hold. A minute later, my phone buzzed. Reservation status, on hold. I stared at it until my eyes burned. No big speech. No family group chat. No public revenge. Just one calm, solid decision. I wasn't going to fund a family vacation for people who humiliated my kids for likes. I closed the laptop and went to bed. For the first time in a long time, I slept through the night. By morning, my phone looked like it had been attacked. 9 missed calls from my mom. 6 from Dana. 3 from Kyle. 1 from my aunt, Dana's favorite messenger when she wanted pressure without getting her own hands dirty. I didn't answer any of them. I got the kids ready for school like it was a normal Monday. Emmy wanted a different shirt than usual, something with a bright rainbow on it, like she needed armor. Leo ate his cereal quietly and then, Are we still going on spring break? I paused. I didn't want to lie. Not that trip, I said. His eyes flicked up to mine. Because of yesterday? Because of yesterday, I confirmed. Emmy's spoon stopped halfway to her mouth. Did we do something wrong? No, I said immediately, forcefully. You did nothing wrong. I crouched beside her chair, looking her straight in the eyes. Listen to me. You two are not charity. You're my kids. And anyone who treats you like a joke doesn't get rewarded with our time or our money. Emmy's eyes got shiny, but she didn't cry. She just nodded, like she was filing it away somewhere safe. Leo's shoulders loosened a little, like he'd been holding tension all night without realizing it. After I dropped them off, I drove my morning shift. My phone kept buzzing in the cup holder, lighting up with names that suddenly felt like strangers. Around noon, I finally picked up my mom's call. Not because I missed her, but because I didn't want her showing up at my kids' school. Gregory, she snapped. What did you do? I put the vacation booking on hold, I said. Silence. Then her voice sharpened. You can't do that. The kids are excited. Dana already bought outfits. I almost laughed. Outfits? Like that mattered more than my daughter's humiliated face yesterday. I can't, I said. And I did. My mom went straight into the usual script. Dana was just trying to teach her kids to be grateful. You always take things the wrong way. I stayed calm. She called my kids poor on camera. She didn't mean she filmed them. I cut in. She posted it. My mom exhaled hard. So you're punishing everyone. I'm not punishing anyone, I said. I'm not paying for the vacation. That's the same thing, she shot back. No, I said, keeping my voice even, almost dangerously so. It's a boundary. My mom's voice went softer, which meant she was switching tactics. Honey, you've always been sensitive about money. There it was, the little jab. I gripped the steering wheel, watching the road. It's not about money. It's about respect. My mom sighed, like I was a stubborn child. If you cancel this, you'll embarrass your sister. My mouth went dry. Good, I said quietly. Maybe she'll learn what embarrassment feels like. My mom gasped like I'd sworn at her. Gregory, I'm done, I said. I'm not discussing this. The trip is on hold. That's it. Then I hung up. I pulled into a gas station parking lot and just sat there for a minute, breathing slowly. My chest felt tight, but it wasn't fear. It was something else. Relief. 2 hours later, Dana texted me. Wow. So you're really doing this? Over video? Then another. My kids are being kind. You're twisting it. Then the killer. If you're struggling, just say that. Don't take it out on everyone. That one made my vision blur for a second. Not because I was sad, but because I couldn't believe how predictable she was. I didn't respond. By the time I got home, Carl had left a voicemail. He sounded angry, but underneath it, I heard something else. Panic. "Greg, this is messed up," he said. "We already requested time off." Dana told the kids. "We already put some stuff on a card because we thought the trip was set." They'd spent money they didn't have because they assumed I would cover the big cost like always. And somehow, I was the villain for not doing it this time. That evening, my cousin Marissa stopped by. She was the only one on my mom's side who ever acted like a real person. She brought a bag of oranges and sat at my kitchen table like she belonged there. "I saw the video," she said quietly. I didn't answer right away, just poured her a glass of water. Marissa shook her head. "Greg, I'm sorry. That was wrong." I stared down at the table. My kid asked if she was poor. Marissa's face tightened. "I swear to you, if I'd been there, I would have taken the phone out of Dana's hand." I believed her. That's why I finally said it out loud. "I put the vacation on hold." Marissa nodded slowly, like she'd expected it. "Good." I blinked. "You're not going to tell me I'm overreacting?" She snorted.
Please.
"Dana has been using you like a free ATM for years." I didn't argue. There was nothing to argue. Marissa leaned forward. "Are you okay?" I hesitated, then said the truth. "I feel weirdly calm." Marissa gave me a small smile. "That's what it feels like when you stop carrying somebody else's entitlement." The next 2 days were pure noise. Dana posted vague quotes on social media about toxic people and boundaries that go both ways. My mom texted me paragraphs about how family doesn't turn on family. My dad sent one message, which was rare. "Call me." I didn't. On Wednesday morning, Dana showed up at my apartment complex. I saw her car from the window while I was packing lunches. Leo spotted it too. He went still. Emmy whispered, "Is she mad?" "Stay inside," I told them. "I'll handle it." Dana didn't knock politely. She pounded like she was the landlord. When I opened the door, she stood there, phone in hand, like it was a weapon. "Are you serious?" she demanded. "You put it on hold? You humiliated me." I kept my voice calm, steady. "You humiliated my kids." Dana rolled her eyes. "Oh my God, Greg. It was a joke." "It wasn't funny," I said. She lifted her phone. "People loved it. They thought it was sweet. You're the only one making it ugly." I looked at her. Really looked. "Take the video down," I said. Dana scoffed.
No.
"It's my page." "Okay," I said. "Then the trip stays on hold." Her mouth opened, then closed. She hadn't expected me to be so unshakable. "You can't do that," she said again, but her voice cracked. I shrugged once. "I already did." Dana's face twisted. "So what now? You're just going to ruin spring break for everyone." I didn't raise my voice. I didn't insult her. I said one simple sentence. "I won't fund a family that treats my kids like a charity prop." Dana stared at me like she couldn't process that I meant it. Then she did what she always does when she doesn't get her way. She tried guilt. "Mom's been crying," she said. "Dad says you're being stubborn. The kids are asking questions." I stayed calm.
Good.
"Answer them honestly." Dana's eyes narrowed. "You think you're some hero now?" "No," I said. "I'm just a dad." Behind me, I heard Emmy's small footsteps. I turned and saw her peeking around the hallway corner, hugging her stuffed rabbit tight. Dana saw her too. For 1 second, Dana's face softened, just a flicker, like she remembered Emmy was a child. Then her pride snapped back into place. She pointed her phone toward Emmy. "See," she said loudly. "This is what I'm talking about. He's teaching them to feel sorry for themselves." That was it. Not yelling, not screaming, just done. I stepped out onto the walkway and pulled my door mostly closed behind me so my kids wouldn't hear every word. "You're leaving?" I said. Dana blinked. "Excuse me? I'm not having this conversation in front of them," I said. "Go home."
She scoffed.
"You can't tell me what to do." I nodded once. "Okay. But the trip stays on hold." Dana's eyes flashed. That's not okay. Then she turned and stomped down the stairs like a teenager. When I came back inside, Leo was standing with his arms crossed, trying to look older than he was. Emmy asked very quietly, "Are we still going to have spring break?" I took a breath. "We're going to have our spring break." Leo's eyes softened. "Just us." "Just us," I said. "And whoever treats you like you matter." Emmy nodded slowly. Then she did something that almost broke me. She walked over to her toy shelf, grabbed a small plush bear, and held it out to me. "Here," she said. "You can have this so you don't feel poor." I swallowed hard. I sat down on the floor, took the bear gently, and pulled her into my arms. "I don't need your bear," I whispered into her hair. "I need you to know you're not less than anyone." She hugged me tighter, like she understood more than I wanted her to. Dana didn't take the video down. Instead, she doubled down. She reposted it with a caption that made my stomach churn, teaching my kids compassion. Not everyone understands generosity. Comments poured in from strangers, praising her. She loved it. My mom loved it too in her own way because it made Dana look good. But something else happened. People who actually knew us started noticing. Marissa texted me a screenshot of a comment from one of Dana's old classmates. "Wait, aren't those Greg's kids? Why are you calling them poor?" Dana deleted that comment fast, but it was too late. The next day, my Aunt June called me. She was my mom's older sister, the one nobody argued with because she had that quiet authority that didn't need volume. "I saw the video," she said. I braced myself. Aunt June sighed. "I want you to listen to me. You did the right thing." I exhaled slowly. "Thank you." She paused. "Gregory, how much was that trip?" $6,000, I admitted. Aunt June made a sound like she was biting back a curse. "And they let her do that to your children." I didn't say anything. Aunt June said, "Keep it on hold." "I will," I said. Then she added, "And if anyone tells you you're overreacting, send them to me." That was the first time in days I smiled for real. The fallout didn't come like a dramatic movie scene. It came like a slow leak. Missed calls, voicemails that started angry and ended desperate. Dana's tone shifted over the week. First, she was furious. Then, she was wounded. Then, she was bargaining. "Okay, Greg, let's just move on. Mom wants us to talk." The kids didn't mean it. Then, finally, "Can we at least keep the trip? We already planned around it." I didn't respond, because I'd already said what needed saying. I wasn't their backup bank, and I wasn't going to buy my kids a front row seat to their own humiliation. 2 weeks later, Dana's video disappeared. No apology. No explanation. Just gone. My mom called like it was a victory she'd arranged. She took it down. My mom said like she deserved credit. "Okay," I replied. My mom waited, like she expected me to say, "Great. So we can all pretend nothing happened." When I didn't, she snapped. "So, can we move forward now?" I kept my voice calm. "The trip is still on hold." My mom's voice went sharp. "Gregory, you are being stubborn." "No," I said. "I'm being consistent." She started to talk, but I cut her off with the only line I'd been repeating in my head for weeks. "I won't fund a family my kids aren't part of." Then I ended the call. Spring break came anyway. And here's the thing nobody tells you. When you stop pouring your money into people who don't respect you, you don't suddenly feel rich. You feel lighter. I didn't rebook some luxury trip. I didn't try to prove anything. I took the money I protected and did something quiet with it. I requested time off, just 3 days. I found a small cabin about 2 hours away. Nothing fancy, but clean, with a little kitchenette and a porch. We packed sandwiches, board games, and Emmy's rainbow shirt. Leo brought a sketchbook. Emmy brought her stuffed rabbit and the plush bear she'd tried to give me. The first night, we sat on that porch with cheap hot chocolate from the grocery store. The air smelled like pine. The world felt still. Emmy leaned against my side and said, "Dad." "Yeah. Are we a family? Even if Grandma is mad." I looked at my kids, really looked at them, and I felt something settle deep in my chest. "We're a family," I said. "Always." Leo nodded once, like he'd been waiting to hear it. The next morning, we went to a small local park. Emmy played on the swings. Leo climbed a rock wall and laughed when he slipped because nobody was watching him like he was an inconvenience. On the last day, Emmy asked if we could donate some toys for real. Not for a camera. Not for performance. Just because she wanted to. So we stopped at a community center on the way home. Emmy picked a few toys she didn't play with anymore and placed them in the donation bin carefully, like they mattered. Leo added a couple books. No ring light. No captions. No smug speeches. Just two kids choosing kindness without being used. When we got home, I opened my phone and saw a new message from Dana. It was short, so you really aren't rebooking it? I stared at it for a moment. Then I typed back one sentence.
No.
The money stays with the people who treat my kids with respect. I didn't add anything else. I didn't need to. That night, we ate dinner at my small kitchen table. Emmy drew a picture with 3 stick figures holding hands under a crooked sun. She wrote in her careful handwriting, "Me plus Leo plus Dad." I taped it to the fridge. And for the first time in a long time, my home felt like the kind of place nobody could take away. Not with a joke. Not with a video. Not with guilt. Just quiet, steady belonging. So, what would you have done if your own family had used your kids like that? Would you have swallowed it for the sake of peace? Or would you have drawn a line? I really want to know what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments below.